and pagers, so we do not have any interruptions during the performance. And now, put your hands together for the two greatest MCs this side of the Mississippi, Ben Fisk and Mr. Yamnitz!
Hello everybody, and welcome to the 9th annual Euclid Middle School 8th grade talent show!
Wow guys, this is a great crowd. This is the biggest crowd I've seen since my parole hearing. So, Ben, tell these fine people what we have in store for them with our first act of the day.
Okay, our first act is Sarah Beamer and Shannon Bress with their glow stick routine. All right, let's hand it over to them. Woo! In the front row were hit with glow sticks, but don't worry, we rushed them to the best medical care that $12 can buy.
Which is not much. That was quite a swinging good time, guys. Now, the next act is quite different than the first act. Ben, would you tell the audience what we have?
Next up, we have Kelly Lynch with her piano solo, Morning Bells. And we know that I can't play the piano, so let's just skip all the jokes with that, okay? So here we go, folks. Kelly Lynch! So, as if our first two acts weren't exciting enough, we have something that's absolutely going to blow your minds.
I'm just thinking, you know, we've run the gamut, we've gone from glow sticks to classical piano, so I was thinking, what might be next? Do we have Mr. Hines singing a duet with Eminem?
It's kind of like that if you think about it, except it's not. It's Javon Rollerson with his vocal solo, Flying Without Wings. But you know, maybe we can get Mr. Hines up here with that.
I think we want to spare the audience that, actually.
Okay, fine. Javon Rollerson, everybody!
Well, man, I didn't realize we got our own American Idol here. That's awesome. That was good stuff.
That was great, wasn't it?
I still have emotional scars from the time that Simon yelled at me when I tried out for American Idol. So I don't have good feelings towards that, but that's another subject. So let's move on to the next act. What do we have, Ben?
Okay, next up we have Michael Scott and his guitar solo, Diary of a Madman.
Guys, being up here with Ben and seeing all these great acts makes me think, I'm amazed with the talent in this middle school. I really am. You guys should really be proud. Because you guys are in 8th grade, Ben's up here emceeing, you guys are playing guitar, piano, etc. When I was in 8th grade, I was still learning how to tie my shoes. Okay? So, I mean, you guys are really doing a great job being 8th graders. This is good stuff. Ben, tell us who, and let's give a round of applause right now. So, maybe tell the fine audience what we have in store for them next.
All right, next is one of the scariest things I've ever seen, and I grew up in Colorado. We have Nathan Stambaugh, Emily Crine, and Sarah Price in what they like to call Dr. Demento's Bulbous Bouffant. Okay, now tell me honestly. Do you really think that I was being too hard when I said that was the scariest thing I've ever seen? See? Yeah.
See, I disagree, Ben. I think it was spectacular.
That's very... I got nothing.
So Ben,
Yeah?
can you tell us what's the next performance?
I can. Next up is Hannah Dimmick. We're taking this completely off this track, thank goodness. With Hannah Dimmick and her vocal solo, I Want to Be a Punk Rocker. So there you go, everybody!
See, that song brought back some memories. 'Cause I actually went to college to major in being a punk rocker. So I have the hair and everything, but then as I was getting halfway through my major, I realized I wasn't a great job opportunity for punk rocker. So I decided what other way could I make kids like cry, and so I decided to become a teacher. So that's why I'm here. I do think the blue hair is a pretty good look for me. What do you think?
It matches your shirt quite nicely, and it brings out your eyes, too.
Thank you. So, Ben, can you tell us what we have in store in the next act?
I sure can. Now, we're going to speed things up a little with Matt Wilson and his original drum set solo. And for those of you that don't know, this guy is kind of fast. So let's just see what you think. Here he is, Matt Wilson, everybody! You know, I hear that before, every time he does that, he drinks like 12 of those new Diet Pepsi Max things.
I can't believe that. I was just wondering if maybe we put that in the wrong place. Because it's too bad that people have to hear what's going on in the rest of the skits, because after that one, I don't know how much I can really hear. Exactly. So what do we have up in store for the audience now?
Okay, next up is Shannon McCormick and Megan Reed singing Hey There Delilah. You're going to have to give us a second. We need to get the mic stands in order. So just look to Mr. Bishop. He'll do something.
Awesome. That was really good. I might have almost dropped the mic stand, but at least the cord has stayed in the mic this time. Last time we had a few technical difficulties with that. All right, Ben, let's go ahead and tell the audience what we have up next.
Okay, providing that the amp is working correctly back there. Next up we have something that they like to call Patrick and Calvin's Symphony of Destruction. So are you guys ready? You are? Good. Alright, you ready? You guys ready for this?
Idea, but Mr. Fisher and Miss Mack shot it down. We were going to do something similar to that. We were going to call it dueling accordions. And for some reason they said no. Another interesting observation I made, I think every single one of those songs was written before they were born. All right, Ben, what do we have coming up next?
All right, coming up next, to keep the flow of music, we've got Brendan Lamb singing How to Save a Life. What do you think?
That was disheartening. We thought you were cheering for us, and then I saw Cal. All right, that was a great, great act. All of them have been, but I think I speak for Ben and I both. We got to see what's coming up next. I think you guys are in for a major, major treat.
Yes.
So Ben, what are they going on?
How many of you have seen Wicked? So like 5 people. Well, the rest of you are probably for the first time are going to hear the song Popular, sung by Alyssa James and by Cassie Reed. So I'm not going to take any more of their time. They'll explain everything. Here you are, ladies and gentlemen. Multiple years, because that's going to be a pretty hard project. What do you mean?
You know, I was thinking, where did they find that handsome man? That's like a spitting image for Mr. Yemens.
I know, it's weird.
So, all right. So, Ben, what do we have on store for the next act?
All right, next up, continuing the flow of music that dominates this act list thing. Next, we have Nina Prevost singing Wide Open Spaces. The first country act I think we have, right?
Thankfully, yes.
All righty then. Woo!
The country music brings me back to my days whenever I did rodeo. And I know all of you are thinking, oh wow, you rode bulls or whatever. No, I was the rodeo clown. It got rather painful, so that's why I'm now here. So, Ben, I know we've seen previews of this, and let me tell you, the older I get, this next act becomes ever more increasingly painful for me to even consider doing myself, so that's why we're going to leave it to the professionals. So what is it, Ben?
Well, we actually choreographed this together on a cocktail napkin, and then they found it and stole it from us. We're very mad about that. But next is a pop dance to We Got More Bounce in California, and it stars Brooke Looch and Karen Griner. So just see, figure out where we started to choreograph this.
Now you know why we leave it to the professionals, guys. You do not want to see Ben and I attempt that in any way, shape, or form.
Nope.
All right, we now have an original sketch comedy act coming up here.
Yeah.
And Ben, who are the players in this act, and what is the premise?
Well, you might have seen this featured in the New Yorker. It was on Broadway for about 10 seconds and then it got canceled, so it moved here. But we now have Michael Scott and Cooper Cohen showing us all of our wonderful and sometimes beautiful...
Michael Scott.
Not Michael Scott. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the Madman. This is Michael Thomas. My bad. Sorry, Michael. All right, they're going to show us all of the beautiful teachers of Euclid Middle School. Did I just say that? I meant good teachers of Euclid Middle School.
Backstage, they wanted me to tell all the Euclid staff and teachers here, they really do appreciate the job that you guys do and that you're awesome. So let's give them a round of applause right now, guys. And of course, when I say Euclid staff and teachers, I also mean myself. So what do we have coming up next?
All right, next, you're going to be treated to a little something that not many people get to see. Two of these people came back from the dead for you to be here. They came from England and they're singing Come Together. Can you guess who it is? Most of you would probably say the Beatles. It's not! They like to call themselves Greg and the Rainbow Llama Band. So here you go. Tell us what they're doing, okay?
Okay guys, we're now at the part of the show where we have one act remaining. But before we give that act, I do want to say, let's all give it up for my man Ben here. I know it's hard to get up in front of your peers and do this.
And while we're at it, let's give him a big round of applause too, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Yemis Rock!
So Ben, you have the honor of introducing our final act of the day. Who is the final act of the day?
The final act. Sorry, I'm building up suspense. The final act is Kelly Searle, accompanied by Camila Vitaitis on the piano, and Kelly will be singing Love Song. So the final act, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it.